Hi there. In this really quick video, hopefully, we will be taking a look at this Borofone BX14 LinkJet 3A cable. Is it 3A from 3 amps? I do not know. We will see maybe in the manual. This is a 2-meter cable and hopefully a good quality one, because I have a place in my house where I need a bit of a longer cable than the original Huawei cable. And in theory, I was talking about a manual. There's no manual. Okay, there's that. I needed a bit of a longer cable and I wanted a decent quality one. And I have a Borofone charger from a few good years ago already, and it's going strong. So I thought, hey, why not give them another chance with a cable? And I will do a test for the charging speed of my Huawei P30 Pro that's actually also recording now. It has 40 watt charging, and let's see if this cable is able to handle that 40 watt charging or not. Overall, what I can see here, pretty flexible, so that's good. It is a bit thick, but not anything unusual, so it's kind of normal thickness, just a bit more on the thicker side. I like the shape of this, quite compact. As you can see, it has a place for you to nicely grip it, which I think is a good idea. Also the little one has a place for you to grip it. And yeah, that's about all she wrote about this cable. Let's put it to a test and work and hope for the best. Charging and sync data, extra durability, efficient transfer. So this is also obviously a data cable. There are some that actually aren't, so be careful about that. There are USB cables that are not equipped for data, only for power. So they are able to handle more power, but not data transfers, or maybe they handle data transfers but not at USB 3.0 speeds. So does it say anywhere that it is a USB 3.0 cable? No, they just say Type-C, but a Type-C doesn't necessarily mean USB 3.0 or 3.1 or something. That's just the shape of it, not how many pins are actually connected to get the correct USB protocol. Just wanted to point out something else. As you can see, this is the whitish color that you see on most devices, and Borofone tends to use a bit of a more cooler white, so it's a bit on a bluish note, to say like that. Let me also compare it to this charging pad. You can see the charging pad and this thing are basically the same color. This is more bluish, so if you are bothered with that, then this is not for you, but I don't think you will be. Okay, this is the standard Huawei cable. It's a 5 amp cable. As you can see here, it's even thicker, and you can see the difference in color once again compared to this, which is more whitish bluish. So let me plug this in and do a screen capture to see what amps we actually get while charging, and then I will try with this one and see the difference. And we are capturing the screen, plugging the charger, let it be. As you can see, we are at 10%, so it should be able to charge at maximum power sooner or later, because we are quite drained. If we would be at 90% or something like that, we might not get full beans, but at this level we should get close to the 5 amps presumably. We'll see that in a moment. Might take a while to ramp up, it always does. Wasn't getting more than 2 amps, so I wanted to take the charger out and see what mode we were in, and we were either camera focus in 5 volt 2 amp or 9 volt 2 amp mode. It was not in 10 volt 4 amp mode yet. So I will plug it in and leave it there for a while and see if it reaches this maximum mode, and then switch to this cable and see if it reaches that maximum mode. It's kind of hard to test stuff like this when the phone decides what mode it wants to be in, depending on the, I don't know, the level of the charge and the charging curve and many other things, many other factors, the temperature of the device and whatnot, and battery obviously. For a moment I saw over 4 amps, but obviously I wasn't filming or recording. Okay, look there. But it's just, I think it's going to such high currents only with the screen off. So the second I turn on the screen, it decides to go lower. I think. I'm not 100% sure, and it stays about at 2000 milliamp hours or 2 amps. But it does have spikes when I turn off the screen and then do the measurement. So let me see with the other cable. Let's plug in the Borofone and see what we will be getting. Of course, I will try to give it the same exact treatment with screen off and then do another measurement after the one that we are doing now. But let's see if it all at least gets to 2 amps like the original Huawei would with the screen on. Seems to be rising quite normally. Still rising, but quite slowly. I hope we are not limited with this cable. I will let it do its thing and get back to it, but it's not looking good now. But also the phone might not like the fact that I kept interrupting it from charging, so I will leave it to continue to charge by itself at this point and then get back. A good while later, let's see what we have now. But it does seem to be charging a bit slower. Yep. So it is slower than the original Huawei cable by quite a bit. Maybe even because it is longer, it has a voltage drop, and then the phone decides, okay, voltage dropping, yep, let's lower the charging. I'm not 100% sure, but it's quite obvious. It's quite obvious. Let me just to try and do a simple comparison somehow. Okay, so unplugged it, plug it back in and see what we get, and then right after unplug it again and plug in the original Huawei and see what we get. So yes, the cable is quite long, but at charging speeds it is a bit lacking. At length it's quite double the Huawei. So that is what I needed, a longer cable, but I need to take into account now that it will charge quite a bit slower. So yeah, you can see it's doesn't even want to go over 1 amp that easily. Maybe now. Yes and no. So let's quickly switch to the original cable. Let me make sure the screen doesn't lock and see if the original cable now will go at those 2 amps quickly. Okay, original cable is in. Let's see what happens. Should be starting to rise. Okay, and it, yeah. Okay, so I don't know about those 3 amps that were on the box, although it was never written anywhere that it means it can handle 3 amps. It was just 3A on the box somewhere, so give or take. Anyway, it's weaker clearly than this original cable. And that's about it for this cable. It's cheap, it's long, fairly flexible, nice ends on it, but as charging capabilities, it's a bit on the low side. I'm not going to test its speed. I don't use it for that, but I expect also that will not be too great. So yeah, hope this video helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and feel free to ask me in the comments how this lasts over the years of use. Bye.